Alan Wilson is the Republican Attorney General for the state of South Carolina. He joins us live. Alan, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming. I appreciate this. So we know that South Carolina was awarded around $8 million, just a little less than that in a settlement, if I'm correct on that. Walk us through the lawsuit. Should South Carolinians, should Americans at large be somewhat alarmed over the use of their data in the wake of this case and these settlements?
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, if you're using an online service platform like Google or a social media platform and you're receiving a good or a service or a product that is free, you need to realize that you are actually the product that is being used, because your personal data, your behavioral data, your location data is actually being monetized, whether you realize it or not, to the vendors of large platforms like Google. So I tell people all the time to be very cognizant of when you're using these online platforms to monitor your location history and your web and activity settings. One of the things that Google's been doing in relation to this is, and the reason they're in this lawsuit or in this settlement, is because they were purposefully misleading consumers around the United States, around the world, in fact, because they weren't fully informing them of the full scope of their location history and their tracking. A lot of people were opt out of the location history, but what Google was doing is they were using other settings in the web and activity setting part of your Android phone or on your Google account to track you and take your personal information without your permission and using that and monetizing that without you knowing about it. And so that is why they're in a settlement right now.
So in this settlement, if I can ask you, this playing out in several states, you were awarded, or your state, sir, was awarded some amount of money there. Where does that money go?
Well, for us, that money goes to the general account for South Carolina, the general fund. It'll be appropriated by the members of the General Assembly. Okay. There are other private class action lawsuits out there that individual citizens can join into, but the whole point of this suit was to punish Google and then to get injunctive relief that make them stop doing this and start allowing people to opt into these services. And some people want to be tracked. I talked to a person the other day that says it's a matter of safety. They want Google to know everywhere they're going, so if they ever turn up missing, people can find them. But that's a personal choice. Mm-hmm. But Google needs to allow people the option and the right to know if their personal data is being monetized, whether they know it or not.
There's a lot to talk about with Google. There's a lot of alerts raised about TikTok as well, who's owned by ByteDance, a Chinese corporation there as well. Either way, a lot to unpack there. We appreciate your time. That is the Attorney General out of South Carolina, Alan Wilson. Alan, good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.